Yo, what's good, man?
Hey, yo, what's good with y'all, man?
Cool, what's up, man?
Welcome to Battle Rap Arena, yo.
Hey, thanks for having me, my man. I'm a big fan of the show.
Oh, thank you, man.
Oh, absolutely. So, how's everyone's New Year going so far?
I can't complain. I can't complain, you know what I'm saying?
Not enough time to complain.
Enjoyed myself last night.
That's good to hear. Everyone get on the same.
Yo, the fans that don't know you, you drew the Phoenix card and stuff. You want to tell us how you got into battle rap? You want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Well, what's good? My name's Teddy Grizzle. I started watching battle rap when I was about 14 years old. My big brother got me into it. Always been watching, from the WRCs and on. And I saw that I had the means to do something, and I found out, what kind of event I could put on with a certain amount of money, and it turned out to be a pretty decent event, and from there I'm stuck in the culture now. I'm gonna be here for a while, I hope.
Okay, so let's talk about this event. So you put together, the Real Deal versus Daylight, Danny Myers and stuff. So
yeah,
how do you reach out to the MCs, and now you give it to URL, or what happened with that?
Well, basically, it was, there was an arrangement that we had. I won't go into specifics, but basically it would be the footage for promotion. You help us promote it, and we'll give you the footage at the end. I didn't feel like the promotion was there. Our trailer got released like a week before Summer Madness, so that was 2 weeks before our event. Common knowledge had already been out for 6 months. So I didn't really understand. There was plenty of downtime in between, stuff like that. So I didn't feel it really right to just give up my footage, so I ended up selling it to King of the Dot.
Okay. Yeah. So it originally was an agreement where you felt like, you was going to get better backing, and you felt shorted.
Yeah, it wasn't even a lot of people think it was because the venue wasn't crowded. We got the venue for the stage. We did not ever, in our wildest dreams, ever think that we would pack, a 2,000-person venue in Arizona. But we wanted, the stage was perfect. We wanted the circle with the seating. You know what I'm saying? I told myself if this was my only one that I was going to do, I wanted to go out with a bang. You know what I'm saying? So try some different stuff. But the biggest thing was just, we had a pay-per-view and stuff like that, and, I felt this could have been a good time for URL to possibly experiment with pay-per-view. Even if, it's nothing crazy on the money end, for them obviously not putting down the cash for it. But, just see how it goes. And then also, Arizona could have been a neutral Western location for them. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of bias going, in between New York and California, to find a neutral ground where people can have a battle where the crowd is not, directly on the side of one of the battlers or not. You know what I'm saying? Arizona's, the crowds, they're hungry, they're excited. You know what I'm saying? Like big battle rap stars coming to the crowd. They're not used to it. They want to go crazy. They went crazy. You know what I'm saying? We only had about 450 people in the stands, but it was a real live crowd. I felt like Smack missed out on it, but what I learned, through that trial of fire, that, battle rap companies want to work with themselves, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't real happy about how it went down, but,
it's a lot of people don't realize until they get involved with this, how much politics actually goes on behind the scenes and everything.
Now, you were supposed to have Rex versus Clips, right? But it was supposed to be a one-rounder, right? So
yes, and I couldn't make it a 3-rounder, so I made a deal with the URL so they could have the battle.
Okay.
Yeah, I was getting a lot of heat for it. I personally wasn't a huge fan of the, Clips pitched me the idea. I know Rex was, real popular. I like Rex, but growing up, I didn't watch a whole lot of Rex. I watched Rex later on. So, I wasn't like a huge fan or anything like that, so I didn't really have an issue passing it on. And at that point, also, Clips was supposed to battle twice that night. The Ilmac battle was supposed to be a surprise. It was Ilmac Ilmac was going to host.
So is that why he was freestyling?
Battle.
Was that why he was freestyling majority of the battle?
No, that was because he was overextended and booked too many battles, and he didn't want to write for them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Right. So, so then when Daylight does what he does, I mean, is it, well, this is what I paid for, I know what I'm getting, or it's kind of like security getting the fuck out of here? Daylight was a replacement.
Daylight was not on the original Duel in the Desert card. It was supposed to be KG the Poet versus Real Deal.
Okay.
We had some complications with KG, which had us to, he asked to be off the card. We obliged him, and we picked up Daylight, soon after that, and, it was kind of like, I asked him flat out if battling another Dot Mob member would be an issue. He told me no, and that's really the only big issue that I had. Oh, and him, spitting 7-minute rounds at my event when time was super crunch. But, that was really the only issue is that, he told me that battling Real Deal wouldn't be an issue. I saw the Dot versus Dot thing as being an issue, and, but I mean, you got a Daylight performance when he doesn't care, so.
Yeah.
So, and then, all right, so a lot of people complained, like, it was a decent battle, but that Big K versus B Magic was too short, that the minutes should
that was, I put the length of the battle I put squarely on my shoulders. The idea was basically we were going to go with, and also how we thought about it is, like Ilmac and Big K, that was a scheduled minute 30 battle. So the rounds were 90 seconds. So we kind of looked at it as like, okay, maybe we'll get, the 130 out of it. And then we kind of saw, we're just kind of like, you know what? We want this to be at 2 minutes. But once we decided to make that move, so many other battles had already been arranged. B Magic had 3 battles that month. He didn't think he'd be able to write for the 2 minutes. We respected that, and we just went with the 130. And I begged Avocado to put more footage in front of it to make it a longer video, but he could only do so much for me.
Right, man. All right, so then now let's fast forward. The Phoenix card goes off.
Yep.
Now you're throwing Battle of the Bay. You're throwing Mr. Fab versus Arsenal. So, what makes you continue working with King of the Dot? And so was it just a great work relationship the first time where you called Mr. Fab?
Well, King of the Dot, I decided to fly organic out. Just sign of respect, pay homage. When I decided to fly organic out, we also still expected Smack to be there. So,
right.
It was still URL's thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I flew organic out, just on, just to pay homage. And, once the whole Smack thing turned out, I talked to him, asked him if he would want to come down and do some hosting. We had a gang of hosts as well, so we weren't too worried about it, but we also needed a platform. Put the battles on, and then this one, oddly enough, it came to be the same way. Lush came on when I was making the Mr. Fab Arsenal card. We made the card, and then Lush came on, and then he asked me if I would want to make it Battle of the Bay. Growing up watching Grind Time, of course I wanted to make it Battle of the Bay. That Right. You grow up watching it and you're throwing battles. Now you're throwing Battle of the BOTB7. What I didn't see going on with that was, the politics of, the history of the event where, it's not that they chose, certain people to be on it every single time, but it was just a tradition that certain people be on it every time. And publicly I'd like to apologize to Dirtbag Dan for that. And he's going to do a great job commentating the pay-per-view for us. Mm-hmm. But, I apologize for not getting him on this card, and his work ethic is seen.
Mm.
Right. Well, I mean, it's, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of saying if Summer Madness, we need this person on.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, personally, there are certain people I won't work with for a little bit. People are asking me why Daylight's not on the card. no disrespect, he tried to take a shit on my stage. I'm not putting him on my card. You know what I'm saying? And that's no disrespect to him. He's super talented. But, I already fool me once. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
he's out there.
He's
high risk, high reward.
Yeah, high risk, high reward. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that. I respect his grind. The battles where he doesn't goof off, he's incredible. You know,
yeah,
I mean, you know,
I agree.
He's incredible. You know what I'm saying? But that's not a risk I'm really willing to take. And Diz and Math. You know what I'm saying? I can't have either one of those guys on my cards for a little bit. You know,
that's respectful. Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, Math is just the Serious Jones one because it just seems, Dose there seemed like a reason for the punch. Serious Jones just kind of out of fucking nowhere.
That was out.
And then Diz was more on the thing. I had to personally, I couldn't put Diz on this card because of the Math situation, but also because after the Math situation, he was given Cassidy, which I felt to be completely ass backwards to me. It's teaching young battle rappers that, you punch someone in the face, make it on the TMZ, you might get Cassidy.
Right. Yeah, it's a bad precedent, you think? Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? It's nothing personal against him. I like Disaster. I grew up watching Disaster.
Yeah,
big fan of Disaster. But it's just like I don't know. In what universe?
It almost seemed like two wrongs made a right in that situation where like Math was wrong for punching the people he punched. Disaster was wrong for punching Math, but it almost seemed like the second wrong made a right because he actually got Cassidy out of it. So I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, but you can also, fairness to him, you could also argue he got it. The cannabis battle had a lot to do with it also, and
I think it came from a big thing of Lush One running Fresh Coast Media Group, which is nothing wrong with that. They're homies. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of that has to do with it too. It's not. I don't want to make it seem like the only reason why he got the battle was the Cassidy battle, but that is the perception.
He's still a very talented dude. But I mean, if you look back and you're really looking back on who had the better years, there are a handful of options that you pick over Disaster to battle Cassidy. His last 8 battles have not, after Arcane, Disaster kind of went on a slide. And
I agree.
I don't.
He didn't have a great 2014.
No, it happens to be. I think rewarding the battlers that do well, that is a good thing. And if a battler's in a slump, I got no problem, putting them on a card, to get them back up there. But, shit, like, you just knocked out, you hit Math on fucking on King of the Dot and then fucking get $50,000 for Cassidy. Yeah, I don't know. It seems a little backwards to me.
Yeah.
Can you break down the Battle of the Bay 7 card? Can you announce the card?
Yeah, it's already out. So that'll be Arsenal versus Mr. Fab, Pass versus B Magic.
Looking forward to that.
Nestle versus Swave Seva.
That's a good one.
Heartless versus KG the Poet. Rum Nitty versus Lotta Zay. Head Ice versus Caustic. And Thesaurus versus Bender.
Okay, Ice versus Caustic. That's kind of weird.
It's very weird, but honestly, you gotta. I think of it like it's. I kind of think of it as a really interesting match because Caustic is, he brings like classic funny. Yeah. And then Head Ice brings like hood funny.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like I don't think it's a weird matchup. Like I could think.
I mean, it looks weird because it's never been spoken about. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's just like, and I'm also a big believer. You got to think outside the box with these battle matchups, or else you're just going to be running in the hamster wheel. You got to push some boxes.
And Caustic isn't exactly, your typical preppy white MC.
No.
So I hate to put people in the box like that, but he's not. He's more of a down to earth. Like he's going. Try to go hard at you a little bit. Like what I'm saying. Like he's not going. he's not going to hit you with as many jokes as some of the others might. He's going to try
absolutely.
to outbar.
It's more sprinkled in than anything, but you know, it's and that's something that's accredited to him doing a great job of developing, you know, his style changing, you know, with the times, but at the same time still keeping, you know, the original caustic.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I like that. I think, you know, you can see that in a lot of the guys that went from, you know, grind time to King of the Dot or grind time to Smack. You know, Cortez flipped up his stuff. Conceitas flipped up his stuff. Hollow might have actually been the only one that kind of kept everything the same. I don't see a whole lot of difference between Hollow's, you know, thought process from grind time to URL. He still kills it. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm not putting anything against it, but you know, he gets better and better and better. But it's like, it's still like the same really weird recipe that you don't understand how it's going to work, but it ends up working. You know, that's how I always saw it with Hollow. I'm a huge fan, also.
Yeah, he has like an unorthodox style. Yeah,
it's super unorthodox. Yeah.
And it works for him though. He's like the manufacturer of the game. You know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So you know, King of the Dot, they're doing Blackout also, which is in February. So they announced Paste versus Sharon. We were just talking about that in the beginning of the show.
Oh.
Now, does that interfere? Like, is that like cross promotions within the same event? Like,
you know, King of the Dot's main function for this is running the pay-per-view. You know, that was my number one concern. I didn't want to be stuck doing pay-per-view by myself. You know, that's just a recipe for disaster. You know, King of the Dot's very successful with their pay-per-views. Even the ones where the hiccups get fixed. You know, and you know, it's an imperfect world, so we have to get ready for, you know, for something to go wrong. But you know, I have the best people available, you know, to fix it. You know, and that's the main role of King of the Dot for this, and as well promotion. But I'm not throwing any shade. If they're putting a little bit more horsepower into Blackout 5, I would too. You got Drake sponsoring an event. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? But you got, you know, go to Drake.
So then, so there's like, you don't see like a repeat of what happened with URL there.
No, I do not. No, I do not.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're okay. I'm high. I just lost what I was gonna say.
No, I was gonna say, you have a trailer coming out though, or is the trailer out already for Battle of the Bay?
The trailer's out already. Yes. Yeah, it's on the King of the Dot main page.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah. I was aware of the Blackout trailer. You know, like I wasn't even aware of the Battle of the Bay trailer.
Yeah, but, I mean, you know what, we're pushing it, you know, as hard as we can. I mean, originally it was supposed to be Lush, pushing it with Film On, and Film On was supposed to do the pay-per-view from the beginning. You know, it's a big reason why the King of the Dot, you know, they're coming in about a month and a half, you know, to go. You know what I'm saying? So we got a sprint to do in this final stretch. But, you know, Film On was supposed to do it in the beginning. You know, and I gotta keep it a buck with you, and I've spoken to Lush about this, but the Sirius Jones interview on Angry Fan really made me think about what I gotta do here. All respect to Lush, he's gonna be there. He's gonna be there hosting. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's you know, it was a corporate decision. You know, just like you know, this PR it doesn't look that great, even though it's actually kind of clearing up. Oddly enough, if you read comments like sympathy is switching, you know, and you know, I'm glad that he's able to weather the storm. But it was just, you know, when the Sirius Jones interview came out, he can attest to this as well. I was shaky. I was just like, no, I don't think I can do this right now. That was bad.
Oh, and then the same token too, it's kind of like, all right, so you do King of the Dot, you do, well, URL, but then King of the Dot gets a YouTube. Why not Teddy Grizzle presents so-and-so? Like,
you know what? I think there are people that have worked harder than me in the culture and I needed my name to get out there so people would take me seriously. But you'll see me reside back into the shadows. I'll probably go, I'm going to be working on bringing an event out to New York, and, yet again, I'll go behind either a league or a figure out there.
Battle Rap Arena will try to do it for you.
Exactly, but you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, there are people that are, I'm not really for the camera, for, doing that. And, just having a YouTube channel, it's based off the subscribers that you have. People already got them. Enjoy yourself. I'll give the footage up because that's, what's really important to people. But for me, it's really just watching the battles. I'm just a true fan. I'm just a kid in the candy store.
So what's your dream matchup to put together? Like, if you saved up enough, would you sponsor like Mook versus Charlie Clips?
I wouldn't do Mook versus Charlie Clips. Clips taking Ilmac light is another. You know what I'm saying? I can't pay a rapper again. If you came light the first time, it says it in the contract too. If I feel like you're not giving your 100%, we won't call you again. Period. The only exception to that rule from Duel in the Desert was Magic, and that's only because I felt that he got put in a really awkward position, and I would have done the same thing in his position, which was where he was overextended as it was, and then Snoop reaches out to him to do the Gladiator School, which you can't turn down. You can't turn down Snoop, for battle rap, Mook, hosting and whatnot. So do him, you know what I'm saying? But, you had 3 battles that month, and that's the only one where I was just kind of like, I think he was just more time overextended, because he still came with 3 rounds, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's not trying to freestyle or, he didn't choke or nothing like that. Like, he did fine. It's just, not prepared B Magic. But yeah, the Clips one, I wouldn't do Mook and Clips, but, I would spend that money. I'd do Lux and Verb. I'd do
Lux and Verb. That's a hot battle.
I would do Lux and Verb. I would do Lux and Verb. I would do the Arsenal Hollow rematch is something I'm extremely interested in doing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dying to see that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trust me. I'm working on it right now.
Oh, okay, that's
waiting I'm waiting for BOTB7 to be over, because I just can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can plan all you want and draw up as many cards as you want, but if you don't have the chicken to pay these guys, you got shit.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
But you've been in negotiations with both of them.
No, I mean, Arsenal and I are very close. Us doing business together multiple times. We speak on this kind of stuff. He's definitely interested in it. Hollow and I have, Hollow, because I don't have a reputation with him, I don't want to come to him unless I have the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've spoken to see if he's interested in the matchup, but I'm not going to come to him like, oh, hey, I got in this month or whatever, I'm going to be doing this.
Right.
Can you say yes? You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's the case, this matchup would have happened already. But I got to make sure this is done correctly.
Oh, that's what's up, man. Sego, any more questions,
We covered just about everything. Like, how much do you know about the whole Snoop card that you was just mentioning with B Magic? Like, do you know like how this whole thing's supposed to be presented?
I got no idea. I'm completely in the dark about that. I know most of the battles. That's like the Calico Hitman one. There were a couple 1-rounders, and I think Rex and Nitty was 2 rounds and something like that. But yeah, I don't know nothing about when it's getting released or anything like that. I thought they might have released the Young B footage. I mean, with everything that happened, rest in peace. But I don't know what they're doing with the footage.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like I was anxious to see how that whole thing turned out and everything. But I'm also anxious about this battle today. We had Mr. Fab on here. He was talking big shit. Made me a believer that he was going to come and show up. Are you anxious to see how he turns out? Are you nervous or what? Like,
I'm actually not super nervous. I got to tell you, and people have kind of been looking at this matchup, and you know, mainly because Mr. Fab is so big in the Bay, and yes, he's known around the world, but you know, the Bay is really his home. That's where, you know, he gets, you know, the most love, you know. So people outside of the Bay, they don't really understand the significance of the matchup going down in Oakland. I mean, I mean, Mr. Fab's spitting a little something, and I think this is going to be really interesting.
I agree.
I got somebody. How about Professor Green? You ever thought about bringing him?
Professor Green from Don't Flop?
Well, yeah, from the Power Summit and stuff. He
yeah.
went against you ever? Well, yeah. You ever thought about bringing somebody out of retirement, like
yes.
or?
Yes. I actually, if you heard the PSA interview that happened with SoulCon, where he's like, yeah, I have people in my inbox that are like, how much do you need to come out of retirement? I'm pretty sure I must have hit him up like the day before. And like verbatim, my man, I heard that and I just went beet red. I was just like, oh, embarrassing. You know, but I would work very hard to get SoulCon and conceded in the ring.
That would be dope. That battle's kind of even.
That battle's a long time in the making. Like, you
know,
do you think a lot of people will still be it? Yeah, I think they would. People will still be interested.
Yeah, you know what? People talk big shit like, oh, this should have happened 2 years ago. But like, what? You're not gonna watch it now?
Yeah,
right.
I'll still watch it. I'll still buy my tickets. You know.
Watch just to see SoulCon, if nothing else. Like, they haven't seen him in so long. And
that's what I'm saying, and I mean, he gets so much love in New York. You know, I mean, it's unbelievable.
He really gets love anywhere he goes. Like,
that's very true. And I mean, I'm a huge, you know, SoulCon's music as well. You know, I'm a big fan of. But I mean, yeah, he really universally just is like probably one of the top 10 favorite battle rappers of all time. I'd probably say he's a fan favorite for his whole career. There's been no downside. You know.
Yeah.
I agree with you, man. We got any caller cycle?
Give me 1 second. My computer locking up. I believe we got a caller right here. I see 414. You there?
What's happening, man? Stacks on the line. What it do?
Oh, what's good, Stacks? How you?
Psycho Duffy, Mr. Grizzle. How you guys doing tonight?
Yeah, okay, man.
Cool, and up here.
Go ahead. I was gonna say I'm sitting back listening to the interview, and like the more I listen to it, the more his story parallels mine. You know what I mean? In the sense that,
yeah, because you had your own incidents, but yeah, I'll let you tell.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is in the sense that, you know, we were both battle rap fans and whatnot coming up, but my whole thing was I didn't like the way battle rap was going. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And like in my opinion, battle rap ain't been shit since like Summer Madness 2 that year. Mm-hmm. And what I basically did is I had a little extra money on the side, and you know I hooked up with Gracie, and the rest, as they say, is history. Mm-hmm. And you know his story of he was a fan of whatnot. He was coming up and he just felt that he could throw a few cards and present something that he felt, you know, he wanted to stand in front of. And you know, from what I understand, he doesn't like. Well, I know I'm talking to him himself, Mr. You know what I'm saying, Teddy, whatever.
Yes, sir.
When you throw the cards, you know what I mean, I've heard that you don't really care about the footage. You just want the best product possible. You know, you want the best battle possible. I want to say I respect that. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
You pat yourself on the back, G. Like, that's it. Hearing that means the world. And I think that's what's forgotten in today's battle rap. There's no authenticity. It's always politics and bullshit behind it.
And money. Yep, everything.
Exactly.
Money,
well, that's what politics means. When someone says politics is the reason a battle didn't happen, it's because they didn't have the money for it.
It's mainly money, but no, that's not always true either. Because some people get caught up in their feelings, and you know things happen. You know what I'm saying? Things come up missing.
You gotta look at it this way. I mean, you know, there are matchups that people are dying to see that haven't happened yet, and because of, you know, people being in their feelings, or, you know, because of the stance, you know, that someone's taken on a certain battle rapper, you know, it's not going to happen. And that's where I really feel I fit in, is the matches that can't happen, you know, on a massive league, or the ones that people want to see but people just don't want to put up the dough for it. That's where I want to come in, and
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I take fan consideration and all that, but I mean, there are matchups I'm dying to see, that are still out there.
Right, like you just spoke Hollow versus Arsenal rematch. Like, that would be crazy if you could make that happen. And B Magic versus Passwords, you made that. That's like, this is some. Do you fear like the matchup that you want to see and invest in doesn't live up to the hype? Kind of like you said, you wouldn't book Clips again, right? Because
no, there's no never. You know what I'm saying? For any of these guys, Diz, Math, Daylight. You know what I'm saying? There's no one that I will never ever work with again. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone, can be worked with at some point, but a timeout or almost like a suspension. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just feel like as an owner, of not even a league, but putting the cards together, I feel I have a responsibility to the culture to make sure that I'm putting on the people that are positively influencing battle rap.
But see, and this is what I feel too. Almost like a battle rap league owner union or something where.
Well, I'd love to see like a UN or like have it like football and have a commissioner.
Yeah.
Right. Because if you're not going to book them again, they're just going to go to the next league, right?
Well, that's totally fine. And, that's the next league's prerogative. It's just, I hope that, and obviously, like the URL, like, they're not going to not book Clips. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But that's what in saying that though, you know what I'm saying? It's not your dime that has to, then be worried about. It's the next person's dime who, you know what I mean? And in that vein, it's like, who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know how I feel about the situation with Clips, what happened with us, but that's how I feel. I don't know how Grizzle and Cannon feels. Like, I can't speak for them. I can speak for me. You know what I mean? And me personally, I would never do it again. And I ain't got no problem with Clips. Like,
exactly. It's not, it's just like
it's business. It's
how
that's it.
Any battler that takes a battle off against for your card, it just makes you it kind of like it puts you behind their eyes, like how they see you. You know what I'm saying? It's if a battler respects you and respects your business and and they're doing it correctly or whatnot, and they come for the 3 rounds, 2 minutes, 3 rounds, 3 minutes, whatever it's time for, and they come to play, like, that's a sign of respect. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's business, it's what they're supposed to do, but at the same time, they respected you enough to hold up their end of the bargain. And that's why, I mean, people look at me like I'm crazy, like I got Battle of the Bay with no Daylight, no Diz. You know what I'm saying? And, I'm just trying to, like, these are the fans that are hurting the sport. The ones that don't, that glorify battlers to the point where they can get away with murder. As a culture, we have to hold everyone responsible, from the people paying the battlers to the fans themselves. You know what I'm saying? We got, like, I was in the building for SM4. I apologize for, Tay-Rock and DNA, you know what I'm saying? Like, I apologize for going fucking crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like, but we are all accountable in this culture, and I think, it would be horribly un-hip-hop, like, to have a union or a commissioner or anything like that. But, I mean, if you look at it from a sport perspective, which it's very much
like
turning out to be.
It would be a cool idea that if it could work in a perfect world, it would be the ultimate way of doing things. But we ain't in that perfect world, so
we're not there yet. At all.
I just don't.
You know what I'm saying? It's a nice fairy tale, but we're nowhere close.
Now, I remember we had Cap Callis on a few years back. Mm-hmm. And he said, I love battle rap, but it's a fad. And it's going to die out. I mean, I didn't used to feel that way, but now I kind of feel like, maybe in a few years, maybe. Would you think like battle rap?
My question is, and Stacks brought this up earlier. He said to him it felt like battle rap ain't been the same since at some manners too. And I agree to a point. Like I do feel like battle rap climaxed then. I do feel like that was the climax. Like I don't think battle rap was ever bigger than it was after right around some manners too. That was the biggest I've seen battle rap. And last year, let's see, was it that was 20? What year was some manners too? 2012.
2011, I think.
No,
some manners too was
I think it was 2012. I believe it was.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
11 was the handheld mic. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, 2013, battle rap took a hit to me. I remember saying that. People used to say it was. I was saying that because the Lux Hollow battle didn't happen on URL. That wasn't true. It was just the way I just felt. Like I just didn't feel the same energy in 2013 that I felt in 2012. So I was like, it took a dip off a little bit. It's like hopefully it'll pick back up in 2014. I think it picked back up a little bit in 2014. It ain't quite 2012 yet, but I do feel like it picked back up.
Well, it picked up because of Total Slaughter. It picked up.
That
but then
helped.
the Total Slaughter show was. But then the events were such letdowns, though. My bad.
But you know what? If you looked at the smaller events, like the guerrilla warfare events, so to speak, like those, it was good quality battles this year. Like
the Crown. I'm a big fan of the Crown and the Blueprint events. I'm a huge fan of those. All the battles from those always came out.
Absolutely. I think
absolutely. And shout out to ARP also. He's making some great cards.
Another person who's been putting out some good quality battles.
That's what I'm saying. And that's a person. If they had, I was talking to someone about this on Angry Fan. They talk battle of the year and stuff like that. I'd like to see an executive of the year. And if I could give it to anyone, I'd probably give it to ARP. I mean,
he was on his hustle this year. He was on his hustle.
ARP did a great job. ARP did a great job.
He took out the public stance that he took out on mediocrity. You know what I'm saying? Like, coming from, the Arsenal Big Cannon getting shut down and then, Ill Will coming in. And, I haven't seen the footage, but, I heard it was excellent. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's good executiveship. That's a good thing to see. I'm a big fan. Definitely.
Right. I mean, but does battle rap die out in the next few years? Or does it come back to where its roots are?
If it continues,
I think battle rap has to come. It has to come full circle. I mean, it has to. I mean, honestly, if I in a perfect world, if I did Arsenal Hollow, I'd probably bring it back to pit form. Circled around, or at least the stage is lower with the seats, going up, but really have the focus be on them, not a ton of people, on stage, because, a lot of gassing happens from the reactions of people on stage, hype men. You don't know what the person that's freaking out about the bar, you don't know what their position is, in terms of the rappers. That could be a rapper's brother, for all you know, going fucking shit.
This is very true. This is very
true.
What I'm saying?
Like, but at the same time, you can't say any person that says they don't take crowd reaction into consideration, or crowd reaction doesn't make them cheer a little bit harder. Crap.
Thank you.
You're lying.
Thank you.
Are such bullshit. if everyone's going crazy, if you could catch a quarter of the bar, you were going crazy too. It's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? It's the energy in the room, and even on camera. You know what I'm saying? Smack, and as annoying as it is, the Don DeMarco thing or the big horn in the background, really annoying, but fucking genius. He basically, it's like a dog whistle. He taught all the fans when to cheer. Yeah. Unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? But I that needs to die. And we tried the scratching in ours, and I don't know if we're gonna keep it around, but we'll keep you posted on that.
Yo, you don't know how many times I had that argument on this show, man. Crowd reaction does play a factor.
I will say the Don DeMarcos and the defense of the Don DeMarcos, he used to only hit. He doesn't even do it anymore, really. But he only hits it when he did do it. He only hit it when the crowd was going crazy, and then he'll hit it, and that'll make the crowd make even more noise. And then the crowd makes even more noise when they heard it or whatever, because they got to actually hear Don DeMarco, so that make them go even more nuts, and which causes for longer pauses.
Yeah, because I mean, when you really think about it, like URL contracts, or I mean, I don't know the contract, but when they do times, I assume it's 3 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like that's an 18-minute battle. Most of these battles are coming out like 43, 45, 50 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, the extra crowd reaction, getting everyone to quiet down and all that, with the Don DeMarco, it was genius of them, to do it that way. Any other battle that comes out under 30 minutes is short. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the eyes of a URL fan. I mean, they've done some,
I personally like the 20-minute battles, man. The 20-minute battles, I personally like
I think 3 2 minutes. I think 3 2 minutes is perfect, but I also think you have to evaluate the rappers you have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's a great point.
If you have Hitman battling, you need 3 minutes. He needs time to build up momentum. His first 15 seconds of most rounds.
Above 5 minutes. I think anything above 5 minutes is too long.
It's overkill, and it kills the replay value of the battle. I haven't watched past the second round of DNA Disaster since I was like 16.
That's just like 40 minutes by itself, just the last round.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and I'm not a huge fan of Unlimited or anything like that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, for these big celebrity matches, for the money that it's being paid, I understand if they want to get the most out of their money, 4 to 5 minutes. That's fine. There's not a rapper alive, industry or otherwise, that I would rather hear 5 minutes plus of battle rap. There's no one. There's no one I would want to hear that much battle rap from. Period.
It's funny. I was just having this conversation earlier. When URL first started off, like the genius of them was it was like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and it was kind of like, oh man, we couldn't wait to hear it. Yeah. Now after years of hearing that, it seems like, oh man, like an hour battle versus a 25-minute battle, like
Well, I mean that comes with the sadly the oversaturation of the sport. And I mean it's damn to anyone that owns a league or puts on cards, you know what I'm saying? Because we're not helping anything. But I mean, a lot of people want to do this stuff, and there's so many battles coming out that they don't need to be, you know what I'm saying, like an hour long or anything like that. Like, I mean, a battle should not take an hour of my life. Period. I got shit.
Well, yeah, but back in the day, like, I don't know, it was like when Rex versus Verb happened. It was kind of cool to waste an hour of your life because you were that hype for it. But now,
absolutely. And I mean, when DNA and Disaster came out, I went apeshit. Like I said, I watched that a whole bunch, but that was back when long battles didn't exist. You know what I'm saying? That was unheard of. You watch the battle because you're like, why is this battle so long? Like, it must be fucking crazy. And now there's been so many mediocre long battles. I skip a lot of battles that are over 40 minutes. It's just like
sometimes I miss a lot of battles just because I don't have the time to watch it. Like I might have like an hour to kill on YouTube, and I got like 5 battles to watch, and they all like a half hour, 40 minutes, and everything else. Like that's a battle and a half. You know what I'm saying? I got to go. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, there are battle fans, and it's contrary to belief, not all battle fans sit in front of a computer and watch battles like 24/7. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have time spaced out in the day when we can watch battles. Yeah. So I mean, the amount of time that's used in it is definitely important.
Oh, you never met me, Ted.
Yeah, I heard that.
You come over to my house, I'm watching battle raps 24/7.
But he's watching the same battle over and over 24/7. Like watch this. I don't even know, but watch this. Jesse, when was the last time you watched Mook Iron Solomon?
Nah, I knew you were gonna ask that question. I haven't watched it in a minute. Like 2 months. Yes,
no,
2 months ago.
Nah, it was less than 2 months ago. You told me you saw it.
I will admit this. What I was just watching today, I just watched Hollow Ilmac and Hollow Passwords. I would like, I go back and they be like they told me Ill Will versus X Factor dropped today. I didn't go and watch it yet. I went back 5 years ago and I watched.
I saw a thing in Angry Fan where X Factor had a line where it was like, "If you were a bitch, I'd rape you," or some shit like that. I don't know. There was a meme or something like you thought that was gonna fly in Detroit. What? So I mean, that's postponed me watching it for a sec, but I'll get on to watch that definitely. I hate when people are like, "Oh, it's the first body bag of 2015." The battle was filmed in 2014. Like, so I'll just pump brakes for a second. But.
Right. And so I mean, Psycho, you like that too, man. You know, like.
I don't watch the battle over and over and over and over. I mean,
I'm definitely guilty of watching battles over and over and over.
There's certain battles that have that replay value where I will go back and watch again. Like I just did that with Verb Daylight and everything else. But Jesse, you go overkill. Like and you just watch it just for the people. You don't even watch it because they're good battles. Because Mook and Iron Solomon was not a good battle, and that shit's an hour. That's an hour out your life. No, you killed a lot of hours out your life.
Yeah, you don't watch the whole thing.
The reason why I kept trying to find something good out of that battle, but I can't.
You think after the 28th time you watched it, you would know it wasn't nothing good about that battle. After the 28th time, you think you would have figured that out.
You know, it's funny. We were talking about closed room settings, and when I heard Iron Solomon's bars in a closed setting, it was dope. And you know this about Reed too. When Reed spit that shit to us, that he was gonna spit against John, you know it was hot.
What Psycho? What you mean when you was jumping around the street like a little cheerleading girl or something? Like you was
what he spitting was hot? I don't know.
The bars sound like this. They sound like the same bars I heard in Song Madness. That's they sound like. I was listening to them like, yeah, you better write something better, or else John's going to kill you. Like that's how I was acting when I heard those bars. You was jumping around. You was just happy to hear Reed Dollars shit. I wasn't too impressed by what you were saying.
Nice?
That's a question.
That's a whole different conversation.
That's the question I always had. I was never the biggest Reed Dollars fan.
Ted, you're gonna have my back on this one, right?
Talk to me.
Reed Dollars is nice. Was nice.
I mean, Reed Dollars is one of those ones that battle rap left behind. I mean, he was nice in his era. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, yeah, I would. I mean, would you book him?
Jesse would.
That's the question.
No. Actually, that's a great question because I don't think I would, yo. I don't think I would.
Because the price would come down to when someone asks me what I think of a battler. I mean, if I wouldn't book you, I don't think you're that nice. I mean, unless you have some kind of circumstance where I can't book you. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, like. But if I choose, if I pass over you and I choose not to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Some people will still come just because it's Reed. Some people will still come. You just can't have them headlining. If you have them headlining, don't expect it too much. But if you have them, if you have them on the undercard, you have some people that will come out to see Reed still.
That's totally understandable. I mean, there are a bunch of legends, and I say legends, you know what I'm saying, because they're pioneers of battle rap, you know what I'm saying? Like, after, Scribble Jam, it took the turn into written, or it went with the WRCs and whatnot, and then, it went into more of just a completely, like, written-based,
Right.
So, I mean, to see it change, but you got people like Awkward was an animal in 01, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he was killing people, you know what I'm saying? But just the adaptation, didn't happen, but there's nothing wrong with that. Johnny Storm's another one. Johnny Storm still has a very similar flow to how he was rocking in Grind Time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously, everything's gotten better. You know what I'm saying? But he's another one where he was killing people back in Grind Time, but the times just changed.
Yeah.
And the style's just not as effective, even though it still is effective. I wish people would get back to the more direct battling rather than you didn't catch that bar? and then like spell shit out, and then move the front letter to the back, and then flip it upside down, and then it reads murder. Like I get it. Like
red rum.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like. It's like, what? Oh, you didn't catch that? Like, the Z is silent, and you moved the N over 2 spaces. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
nah, it's true. It's true. I agree with you.
It's just starting to get mad corny to me.
He ain't lying, boy. I remember I wrote that rant that one time about how Lux fans swear they smarter than everybody else.
Oh God, there's some
nobody
kid,
gets Lux but
an
them.
angry fan group that is just it's the Lux fans that call everyone king. I just want to smack the shit out of. It's just like stop calling me king. Like, it's cool if Lux wants to do it. Like, that's Lux's thing. But like, don't act like you've been calling people king since like you ain't been doing that since Summer Madness 2. Like, slow down, all right? Looking like a Seahawks fan up in this bitch.
Oh man, it's just funny shit. The motherfuckers like you ain't understand what he said.
Yeah, it's like y'all sleeping. It's like I ain't sleeping on shit, son. I didn't get it. Like
Like I heard him the first time.
If you can't appeal, if you can't appeal your material to the audience, you know what I'm saying? There are very few bars that if I don't get in the building, I won't give them credit for it if I get it later.
All right, Ted, I'm just gonna a few minutes left on the show, but I'm just gonna say this.
Shoot.
So Psycho's like, yo, Chilla Jones versus JC. This shit is crazy. I'm like, nah, it's not crazy. He's like, oh, he didn't make the bar. Am I bugging on for that one?
That was
that was one where, I mean, and like I said, it's a personal thing, you know what I'm saying? If I have to go back and open up a dictionary to figure out the bars, like we have an issue.
Remember, this is back in 2012 when it wasn't like right now in 2015
this was new.
Now, it's a little bit overkill.
Scheming was like the new thing or whatever, and no one was doing it better than Chilla. No one was doing it better than Chilla.
I mean, remember, it was also the setting too. It was also the setting too. We was in a small room, and it was perfect for. It was perfect for the reactions. It was perfect that everybody got a chance to hear everything they were saying, and able to get the bars and everything else, and this, that, and that. Like everybody in the room got all the bars and everything. It wasn't one that you had to go back home and watch it again on footage to get stuff. Like everybody got everything they were saying right there. Like it was real. Like they did a good job, both of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Still,
I think there's
top 5 battles
also,
I've seen in my life.
With the big crowds and stuff like that, people, they don't feel the necessity to be as in tuned as, you know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing, you're not like a bad battle fan if you look down at your phone during a battle. You know what I'm saying? But if you're in a small room, you might be paying attention a little bit more because you're going to be seen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like as opposed to like in the audience, you know what I'm saying? I don't even think there are some, the crowd's not even shown in a lot of battles. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been in the crowds, people are talking, asking where the butt at, or fucking, on their phone.
Yep, motherfuckers drinking, motherfuckers going back and forth to the bathroom, and all this other shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
half the crowd probably ain't even paying attention. And like
they might come in halfway to something, but,
Yeah, like you said earlier, half the crowd's probably not even paying attention, and they just hear a whole bunch of oohs and ahs. They're like, yo, what'd he say? What'd he say? What'd he say? And then they repeat it, and then they start oohing and ahhing after the person repeated it. And I've seen that happen. And
yeah, I've also seen it happen where, like, they said it once, and it was hot, it was pretty hot, and then they decided to say it again thinking, like, oh, it's going to be so much better the second time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it's a complete faceplant, I remember there were a couple battles where everyone was bringing it back, you know what I'm saying? And, you were hearing the same bars twice, like Charlie Clifton B Magic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he goes, Charlie gets through, like the first, whatever, and then he goes all the way back and does it again. And I think that was just to avoid, forgetting the bar or whatever, which is,
he had to pick it back up where he was at. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care if if you're Hitman, you want to remix it, go for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to concede it, you want to slow it down, et cetera, et cetera. But I mean, you shouldn't bring back a bar. It's the crowd's fault if they didn't catch it, or it's your fault because you're just writing too high. You know what I'm saying? But.
And like you said, so a lot of times it's because that's the only way they can remember without choking. They got to get back where they was at because they might have lost track.
And I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Like there are some someone did it. That's Charlie. Go back to Charlie Clips. He must have noticed what he did, and he adjusted it really well when he battled Holohan. He spat a whole thing, and then the crowd went crazy. We said, "Oh, Jewish, yeah, like Solcon and his hype man," and the whole place went crazy. Mm-hmm. So, but instead of going all the way back, he just because everything the end of everything rhymed together. You know what I'm saying? He just cut out a couple pieces and just made it. You know what I'm saying? Just like repeated a couple of the lines. Rather than that, just to pick his place up, and that was. I mean, I was really, really cool to see that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to improv like that on the spot.
Definitely. Jesse, you still there?
Yeah. Yo, Stacks, you there?
What up?
All right, yo, Ted, can you tell Stacks he was bugging? Now, him and B Magic, they clowned me on the show. They said Hollow versus Passwords wasn't debatable.
It wasn't.
I mean, it is because it's. Yeah, I mean, I don't give. I mean, yeah, I don't think in any time of me watching it did I give Hollow that battle. To be 100% honest with you.
He was saying, like...
I thought it was a close battle myself. I thought it was one of Hollow's closest battles.
Oh, it was very close. It was definitely 2-1. You know what I'm saying? Hollow took a round somewhere. That's my biggest problem. I don't break shit down in rounds. It's like at the end of the battle, I'm just like, oh, he won. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he took the first or he took the second, he took the third. It's kind of just like the overall performance, and then I pick a winner. So I got to judge a little bit differently.
Yeah, it's times where people stole battles, lost the first two rounds, and won it in the third. We've seen that happen before.
That's another thing. I mean, I judge this way also. It's another way of keeping people accountable. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm up 2-0. You know what I'm saying? You're not up 2-0. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? Like, finish your third. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I also can't stand battlers. You know what I'm saying? This is my lightest round. I swear to God. Like, I can't stand that.
It ended up being the hardest
your
round.
best round.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, there's a bunch of those. Yeah.
It's almost like when Tay-Rock keeps saying that's light. It's kind of like,
Tay-Rock, I think you'll see Tay-Rock stop saying that tonight, in my opinion.
What happened?
I think you'll see
average ass bars, yo.
You'll see Tay-Rock. You'll see him to start weaning off of that. I mean, if he makes the right transition, because that slogan is just it's okay to say, but the problem is it doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? It's like if it is a light bar, that's cool, but like you're screaming that's light, and the bar you just had was retarded. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's trash.
The Tay-Rock line never been retarded.
Like.
Please. When has the Tay-Rock line ever been retarded? Like, he's the most coldest average dude out.
No, it's not average. It's simple and to the point, and it hits an audience. It's the same thing with Big K. What Big K's saying isn't fucking rocket science. You know what I'm saying? But, like, who has better lines than, you know what I'm saying, like, all punches, no power behind it. You don't got to throw him back to back. You just got to hit him hard enough the first time. You know what I'm saying? It's exactly that. If your punches are right there and they're good, you're on. It took me a while to get on the Rock bandwagon, to be quite honest with you. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm a fan.
Hello? Did we lose him?
Yeah, well, did we lose Ted?
Yeah, I think so. I think we lost him.
Man.
Yeah, we did.
All right. All right. Well, yo, man, what a true battle rap head that dude was, yo.
Yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? I would like to give him a chance to promote his stuff he got coming up, but yeah, definitely. Make sure you guys Twitter account, Jesse.
I don't know it off the top of my head. I know it's
Teddy Grizzle 44 or something like that, yo.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, check Jesse's timeline and see if you can find his Twitter account. If y'all guys have any questions for him about the whole Battle of the Bay card and everything else he got coming up. Yeah, I guess we can get ready to get out of here. Enjoy the rest of the New Year's.
Yo, salute to you, Stacks, man. I can't wait to see Guerrilla Warfare in 2015, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You want to share anything y'all got? Any plans you guys have coming up this year?
Oh no, man, I have yet to meet with Gracie in Canada and whatnot. I'm just, like I said, for the last thing that I've been promoting is the clothing drive, which is the last day tomorrow. I mean, other than that, I haven't really spoken with him, about battle rap and whatnot. We've been just living life, dude. It's been real life,
That's what's up. All right. Well, yeah. Let's see, Battle Rap Arena. Let's see. Check us out next week, Tuesday, Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks to Stacks for joining us. Thanks to Teddy Grizzle for joining us. Thanks to you guys for listening. We out.